Welcome to Bayside IELTS. Before you start your classes with us and to ensure you make the most of your time here, please watch this introductory video to learn all about the test and about how you can achieve your goals. Keep watching until the end for some important information about your classes. Let me tell you a little bit about IELTS. It stands for the International English Language Testing System, and it's a global test recognised around the world and used for study, migration and professional purposes. IELTS has two streams, general or academic. The test assesses your writing, reading, listening and speaking skills. The general and academic tests are exactly the same in terms of listening and speaking, but the writing and reading modules are a little different. The test is marked on a 9-band scoring system. Band 9 is considered an expert user. You receive a band score for each part of the test, as well as an overall band score, an average of the 4. You book your IELTS test online at IELTS.org. There are 8 IELTS test centres in Melbourne, and most of them run the test in one day, usually a Saturday, but 1 or 2 offer the speaking test on a separate day. This is the running order of a typical IELTS test in Australia. It starts with writing for an hour, then reading another hour, and listening, which takes about 30 minutes, and there's no break in between these sections. After the listening, you'll have a speaking test, which takes between 11 and 14 minutes. The IELTS writing test takes 60 minutes and includes 2 tasks. You receive a separate score for each task. The test is handwritten in pencil and your work is scored by an examiner using 4 criteria. The IELTS reading test also takes 60 minutes. The general and academic versions are different in terms of length and content, but they both have 3 sections and 40 questions. This part of the test assesses a range of reading skills like reading for gist or detail and recognising opinion or purpose. So how do you get your score? Well, this conversion chart shows you generally the scores that are needed for each band. And you'll notice they're a little different. So for the general test, if you need band 7, you have to be getting about 34 out of 40 correct. Whereas for academic, you just need 30 out of 40. So in class, we use this to calculate your band scores. One more thing to mention about IELTS reading is that your answers go on an answer sheet like this. This means you can draw and write on the question sheet, but your final answers must go here within the 60 minutes. Listening is next, and this part of the exam takes about 30 minutes with an extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. There are 4 sections and each section has 10 questions, so 40 all up. You hear the audio only once and your spelling is important. Wrong spelling means wrong answer. The scores work much like the reading test, but there's no difference here between general or academic. So if you're aiming for band 7, you want to be getting about 30 out of 40 correct. Finally, we have the speaking test, and this takes between 11 and 14 minutes and has 3 sections. The test is one-on-one with an examiner, and the examiner asks you all the questions and is also the person who assesses you or rates you based on 4 criteria, much like the writing test. So now you know all about the test and you're ready to study. At Bayside, we've been helping people reach their IELTS goals since 2008. As we're a government registered college, all of our teachers are professionally trained, highly experienced, as well as being experts in IELTS. Our classes are very practical and test focused. You don't just sit and listen, you're always producing and learning. We use authentic IELTS practice materials and give you lots of chances to practice what you've learned inside and outside class. While you're with us, we also offer unlimited writing corrections, and we really encourage our students to make the most of having this chance to have your work assessed and analysed by our expert team. So once you've booked in your classes, just come along with the usual study materials, an exercise book and pens and pencils. If you're joining our speaking classes, we encourage you to record yourself using your phone. And as you receive handouts and practice materials, It's a good idea to have a folder to keep your notes organised. And lastly, a positive attitude is a huge help when it comes to IELTS preparation. Look at your test preparation as an opportunity not just to pass an exam, but to improve your overall language skills. Make the most of your time with us and don't hesitate to ask for extra help when you need it. Once again, welcome to Bayside. We look forward to working with you to achieve your IELTS success.